Hello everyone, I'm Joshua.
And I'm Abe.
I'm Amanda.
I'm Jay.
And I'm Josh too.
Hello everyone, Joshua Myers here, and welcome to my Jurassic Park franchise review series. Now with this series, I'm going to review every single Jurassic Park film up to date, from the original all the way to Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. And today I'm going to start off with the classic original Jurassic Park from 1993.
We've made living biological attractions so astounding that they'll capture the imagination of the entire planet.
The most phenomenal discovery of our time.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Becomes the greatest adventure of all time.
Can I touch it?
Sure. Universal Pictures presents a Steven Spielberg film, Jurassic Park. Rated PG-13. Starts Friday, June 11th.
Jurassic Park stars Sam Neill, Laura Dern, Jeff Goldblum, Richard Attenborough, and is directed by Steven Spielberg. The plot of Jurassic Park is that John Hammond, portrayed by Richard Attenborough, has brought in Alan Grant, Ellie Sattler, and Ian Malcolm, portrayed by Sam Neill, Laura Dern, and Jeff Goldblum, to go check it, just to basically observe and check out his new theme park that is currently in the works. Little do they know is that it turns out the theme park actually which is located on a remote island off of the coast of Costa Rica, actually inhabits dinosaurs. Yeah, that John Hammond brought dinosaurs back to life, and that he will having them ready for a future theme park that's in the works called Jurassic Park. But once the power goes out throughout the entire park, the dinosaurs end up escaping, and it's up to our five main characters to basically survive the island and hope for a rescue. What are my positives with Jurassic Park? Honestly, for me, this film was a definite game changer, and it still is. It's still a massive game changer, especially, honestly, I love everything about this movie, really, from the effects. The effects still hold up to this day. This film is almost 30 years old. It's exactly 27 years old. At least it would be by this summer. And it still holds up. The effects still hold up and everything. Just look at some of this stuff. It's amazing. And that's because I think Steven Spielberg knew how to shoot the dinosaurs and that, how to scale them to frame and everything, which I think did it amazingly. Plus, they also knew how to light the dinosaurs and everything. The digital effects are pretty good, but combine them with the practical animatronic effects, which the animatronic effects are just so impressive. Seriously, they built a life-size Tyrannosaurus Rex just for this movie. That is fucking awesome. It is. It's fucking awesome. And you feel like these things are really there because of how well they utilize the effects. And definitely for a lot of people, the dinosaurs were the money shot. But for me, honestly, I really do like the stuff with the characters in that. And, basically they're back and forth and everything. And each of these characters are so interesting, Alan Grant and that, and Ian Malcolm, and all of them, John Hammond's interesting. You just got a lot of interesting characters here, and they do bring up some really good points about this situation, bring up whether or not, it's a good idea for people to resurrect dinosaurs, really. And their discussions are so interesting. I also do agree with a lot of their points, I especially agree with Ian Malcolm on this case, I think, if we were to really bring back dinosaurs, there would be some repercussions for us in the future, especially for the people who did it. I would like to say it would be almost like, some well-deserved karma for that. Honestly, I think so. And, with the fact that, scientists are really trying to do that still, and that they've been doing that ever since this movie came out. And for me, first of all, I do think there will be repercussions for humanity for, you know, fucking with nature in that regard. I think it's not going to end well for us if we do so. No, I just don't see the point, really, as far as bringing back dinosaurs, you know. I don't even see there being a point as far as research goes and everything. And knowing that the way they're wanting to do it now, which they're wanting to re-engineer a chicken into a dinosaur through turning on and off certain genes and certain genetics in its code, and even if they do that, it won't be the real thing, you know? It'll just be some sort of, you know, like some sort of like genetic mutation, like some sort of genetic mutation abomination. Actually, it wouldn't be the real thing either way. I don't think we would ever be able to get to the real thing either way, because even if we get even 99% close, still would not be the real thing. Because dinosaurs died out centuries ago. You know, and I feel like if they were meant to still be alive, they still would be. You know, it's not like extinction that was extinction that was caused by man or anything. You know, so I don't think it would be a good idea. So I 100% agree with Ian Malcolm on this. Plus, also for the most part, the acting's really good. You got Sam Neill, who I think is a really good actor in this. Also, you got Jeff Goldblum, which I will admit, after a while, because he kept on doing the same sort of routine over and over again, to the point where he's practically, like, he made that into his real-life persona. But at first it was really charming and that, and it is a really unique performance, at least at the time it was. And at the time it was charming and that, but now it's kind of just irritating, because it's like, that's all he does now. It's like, he portrays the same character in every movie now. Although I will say, I did saw the Disney Plus series that he's in, that, like, his own Disney Plus show, The World According to Jeff Goldblum. You know, like, and to be honest, he really seemed to try in that, you know, as far as not having this Jeff Goldblum isms pop out. Like, seriously, he's trying, like, even with how many uhs he says in between sentences and that, like, he tries so hard to keep that from coming out, that I gotta at least give respect for that, so. But anyway, back to the movie. Also, the action scenes are just amazing, actually. They're really energetic, and there's a lot of suspense in this movie, too, like, and the suspense is really good as well. And when you get to the velociraptors and that, man, it's almost become a horror movie with those things. Like, seriously, like, the way they shot them and that, and everything, and just how they played out those scenes, it's honestly kind of scary. It's still kind of scary to this day, especially for adults. Like, I can seriously just imagine what kids were like. In fact, I was a kid when I saw this. I was like 2 or 3 years old when I saw it on VHS at the time. And yeah, that part did scare me, I will admit. And another thing I love about this film is the pacing. This film is like a little over 2 hours long, and did not feel like that whatsoever. It seemed to fly by really fast. Also, the music score by John Williams is just amazing, actually. Like, seriously, that's one soundtrack I wouldn't mind having again. I used to have the soundtrack before. It was an older soundtrack, but that's a soundtrack I wouldn't mind getting in that again, so. Now, if there's any negatives for me with this movie, it would probably have to be certain stuff, like, I mean, it would just be nitpicking at this point, but it's like, I will say, there's some scenes, like, you know, near the end when the raptors are trying to get them, and then you have Sam Neill and Laura Dern holding down the door where there's a raptor trying to get in, and, you know, you have Lex trying to, you know, reboot the systems and everything, and you just have Tim there, just basically, just giving a slap to the chair. It's like, how about this? Why doesn't Tim go for the gun to hand to, Sattler? Like, seriously, why doesn't he? You know? Like, it's like, give Sattler the gun, The chair doesn't need, the chair doesn't need as much of a slab as, Sattler needs the gun, like. So there's just stuff like that that's kind of like, but to be honest, I think most people don't really think about that stuff. I certainly really didn't, except for this watch. Well, and also there's some dialogue that's a bit cringy, like, for example, you have, like, at one point when they see the Brachiosaurus and then they start petting it, it's almost kind of like George Lucas writing. It's like, I like cows, but I don't like sand. It's like that. But thankfully, there's not much of that type of dialogue or writing in this film. So with that said, I'm going to give the original Jurassic Park a 5 out of 5 stars. Honestly, for me, this is yet another perfect movie. The stuff that I have complaints with are honestly just nitpicks. It's almost like I'm trying to, like, you would just almost have to be, like, trying to find flaws, It's like I sure could probably get one. Oh, wait, there's a flaw, But this is this is still an awesome movie. Like, this is still an awesome movie. It still holds up after 27 years. Within the 27 years it's been out. And so, yeah, this film holds up relatively, well from, in my opinion. It's a classic for a reason. I think it is a high mark in film, in cinema's history. So that's it for this review. Thank you guys for watching, and welcome to Jurassic Park.